Man United Agenda, and we are live. I am Solo. Monday is joining us, and we've got Pat on today as well. And we'll be talking all about Barcelona are determined to sell De Jong. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Man United Agenda. And guys, I've been missing MIA for a few days now. It feels a bit strange coming back on today after our Monday and Mr. B performance this week. Absolutely smashing job, guys. But guess what? I'm back in the hot seat. I'm a bit nervous, really. How are you doing on Monday?
I'm a bit gutted, to be honest. I was getting used to being a host. I'd like to know how you scored me out of 10, please.
That was a 10 out of 10.
10? Oh, good. What about Mr. B? He ain't listening. What about Mr. B? Mr. B ain't listening. I'm sure he's not watching.
Well, Mr. B got size 3 feet, so, we give him 3 out of 10.
I'll tell you something, Errol. Being a host is not as easy as it made out. You make it look like a breeze. I was sweating in that hot seat. Bit like I was a contestant on the Quizmaster show. I think you have to master a lot of stuff. You have to be engaging. You have to sort of share out the conversation. You have to sort of. It's like chairing a meeting, isn't it? Yeah. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. I'm going to buy you a hammer and one of those order hammers, like a judge. Because sometimes get a bit hectic in here, and I think you require that because this being a host is not easy. So anyone watching on, you have to give Solo a lot of credit. It's not an easy job, as I found out this week.
Difficult, hard job. But guess what? We've got still one of our super members on the chat channel today, and that is Pat. Pat, welcome back, sir.
Thanks very much, lads. Thanks for having me back on. And on Monday, I'll give you a 10 as well.
Oh, thank you very much.
Pat, you have to. He's like, what, 6'7", so you need
to. Yeah, what are you after, guys? What are you after?
No, props and credit when credit's due, because you have to keep the conversation flowing. You have to keep it fluent, and it's not easy. And you have to watch people for when they finish talking. Otherwise, there's a lot of pauses, and it's difficult. And you have to be able to keep your own mind thinking for the agenda you wanted to talk about in the first place. So kudos.
Yeah, can I just ask you something, Pat? Like, you're a member. Are you a $2.99 paying member?
I'm the full whack. So
you get a
first day employer.
I think you should soon be added to the hosting. I think part of that you should be getting an opportunity to host the show, and then we can grade you, and you can really see what it's like in the hot seat.
Just don't zoom the camera up because you see the bullets sweating off me. I'm like, whoa.
You know what? Yeah, Pat, I'm not even going to lie to you, but when I first started the channel up until I'll say about 3-4 months ago, it was a constant, but now it's almost a flow now. It's almost like the concentration level is there, and it's more fluidity with us now because we've been together now. Me, OMONDI, Mr. B, talk. We've been together a long time now, so it's becoming a lot easier now, sort of the connection. I think as a friendship group goes, we become very close together, so we understand each other a bit more. So doing a channel, doing a show, it's difficult, it's hard.
Now, you know what? Now I know how the Island Boys feel. The Island Boys just trying to make it, adding to their crew. We added another Island Boy in Pat to the show.
Oh, you know what? The thing is as well, Monday, saying about the Island Boys, we've got quite a lot of them on the channel now, haven't we?
Yeah.
We have.
We've got
we've got Pat, we've got Paddy. Well, we've got, who is it? Pat, Paddy, Phil,
Thomas,
and Thomas as well. Yeah. Quite a lot.
Even though Del Boy's an Arsenal fan, we can't get rid of him.
Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah, and he's Irish as well. So yeah, guys, in the chat, we are doing a couple of special shows this week. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you're not new, you know what to do. Hit that like button. We are going to be doing a show this Friday at 7. We are going very early this Friday, 7 o'clock, to do a Premier League 1 to 11, where we are going to ask some of our members, if you want to get involved in pre-recording your 1 to 11 team of the season. Obviously, it can't be all Man United because, you know, it's going to be a bit hard to do all Man United, but it's going to be a Premier League mixture. So on the channel, we're going to have a Crystal Palace fan, a Newcastle fan, Arsenal, possibly a Tottenham fan as well, Chelsea, and we got Ankit from India who will be on the channel as well, who's a Chelsea fan, massive Chelsea fan, huge in India as well. He's going to be on the channel as well. So, guys, it's going to be a blockbuster. So make sure you tune in as well for that. Yeah, we're going to be start promoting it as well as from, I think, today or tomorrow, some point, once I get the thumbnail sorted out by TalkMU in the comments. So, guys, as I said, I'm Solo, I'm Monday, and Pat, and we are going to be talking about Barcelona. Reports are claiming that Barcelona is pushing to sell Frenkie de Jong. Now, for me, it's a merry-go-round at the moment. Part of the reason is because Man United, some Man United fans are very worried right now because we don't know where the saga is going to end, whether or not the player himself actually want to leave Barcelona. In an interview recently, he has stated he didn't want to leave Barcelona anyway. He didn't want to leave Spain, full stop. So are we looking at a player now who physically don't really want to come to Man United, but probably end up Man United for the wrong reason on Monday?
Yeah, I do see it like that. I think if you want a player to come to the club, he must say, putting out the right signals that like he really wants to come to the club and he's excited that Man United are interested in him. And I'm not getting those signals from him. Granted, he has to be respectful to his club. So we're just gauging this from all the comments. But it's like a big slap in the face. It's like your girlfriend saying, sorry, love, not tonight. I'm washing my hair. Go and sleep in the spare room, that kind of thing. We don't want someone on the rebound, you know. There's a lot of trauma with people being dumped and they're on the rebound. You know, they don't know where they're at. They lose their confidence. They lose their mojo, that kind of thing. So I think Barcelona have made some real glaring hints so far that they don't need him. I'm sure we'll go into detail, but I think it's obvious they know about the financial issue. They can't move on with their transfer spending unless Frenkie goes. And I think they picked out Frenkie, as we were saying just before the show, because Frankie's a big asset. He's 25 years old. They got him as a young player, as one of the best young up-and-coming players in Europe. They signed him. When he signed, he was so buzzing about being at Barcelona. He felt that the team would probably be built around him. He's got a similar style of play, although he does carry the ball a lot. They play a bit tiki-taka. He does carry the ball a lot, but he's an excellent player. He could adapt. But it seems like, especially last season, there's some sort of really worrying signs for him when he was coming off after 60 minutes, and the youngsters like Gabby and Pedri were getting more love over him. So I'm starting to feel that he's not getting the hint, and it's clear that Barcelona don't need him. And even though I think Xavi's being very shrewd about it. He's saying, I want him to stay. You know, I want him to stay. But he's only saying that just in case if he does stay, he's going to be on side of him next year. You know, Barcelona are well behind Real Madrid at the moment. They're going through a rebuild. And so are Real Madrid. But they're doing it like in a smart way. They've just won the Champions League, just won the league. And they're buying in players like Mendy at the moment to bolster their midfield, as well as the other players they brought in, the Brazilians, the other French midfielder. They're looking good. So for Xavi to catch up, I think he has to sell, and then maybe getting a couple of players like Kesse on a freebie, that kind of thing. They have to do good business. But I think we're waiting, all things considered, I know we're getting impatient here, but we're waiting for one deal, big deal to go through, and then that will start the domino effect of transfers going around Europe and things. So be patient, guys. I do still think Frenkie de Jong will come based on him not being wanted and him coming to the arms of Erik ten Hag and Donny, who do want him to come and play for the club. And I'm sure Pat was talking earlier about the benefits of him coming to the club, you know, what he could achieve at 25 years old and what sort of status he would have at Manchester United.
Yeah, so with Frenkie, I can see why Eric is going all out for him, because he's going to be brought in. He's going to implement the style straight away. There's no learning process, and he just brings him straight in. And that's the reason why I think Erik ten Hag is going for Timber as well. So if he goes for Timber, he goes for Frenkie de Jong. He brings the two of them straight in. There's no learning process. He already has Donny coming back, so he nearly has a spine of a team that is going to, let's say, they're going to be able to tell the rest of the lads, this is how we do it. This is how Eric wants it. Follow my suit. And it'll be a little bit of a lean on me a little bit of lean on me during the games. Just I know what Eric wants. Don't be afraid to pass me the ball. So yeah, the only concern about Frenkie is that it's like signings of the last couple of years. It just goes on for a little bit too long. We're putting all our eggs into one basket, hoping we're going to get Frenkie, and then all of a sudden Barcelona don't do the business that they think they're going to get, and all of a sudden we don't get Frenkie. It all becomes rush, and before we know it, we're signing 2 players at the end of the window for 80 million and 50 million, and it's all rush again, and we started off on the wrong foot. Is basically what I'm trying to get at. If we keep hanging on too long, trying to focus on one player.
And like you just said it, though, Pat, and we're talking the backstage as well. Barcelona have to sell, and they have to sell one of their prized asset. And Frenkie de Jong is, I believe, is the highest earner at Barcelona, and he's got the biggest valuation at Barcelona as well. Now, the knock-on effect goes with, at the moment, Bayern Munich is looking to replace Lewandowski, who's meant to be going to Barcelona. Now, no deals can be done or the players cannot be registered until Barcelona get rid of De Jong, who's the only player, it seems, right now for them to try and get rid of on the wage scale and also on the base of the most valued player at Barcelona right now. OMONDI said it earlier as well about the rebuilding of Real Madrid, what Real Madrid are doing right now. You got to also remember Real Madrid won the double last season, the league and Champions League. So Barcelona right now is a million miles away from them, plus the rebuilding of what they're doing right now. So it's, for me, my concern and my worry is, do I want De Jong at Man United? Yes, I do. But is he going to be in the right frame of mind to come and play for Man United? Basically, based on the project, because right now what Ten Hag is coming in to do is a project. That's all he's doing, a project to try and rebuild Manchester United. Can he play in sort of Europa League? Can you see him playing there? And this is the questions that the player is probably asking himself on the agent. Is it a point him going to Manchester United? For me, good business, but like you said there as well, it's prolonging. This is Manchester United at its best with negotiation. Don't know what you think on Monday.
Look, yeah, you raised some good points there. Obviously, the Champions League football issue. Obviously, we haven't won a league for coming on to 10 years now next season. That is an issue as well. So if you're a player at 25 years old and you're coming from Barcelona, where you thought you would be like the main man, and you're going to a club, you want to go to a club that's going to be winning stuff. At the moment, how can we guarantee that we're going to win anything? Pogba was also promised that would win the title in a couple of years when he came as well. So you can't be giving that sort of talk anymore. He's got a good opportunity to speak to Donny, to speak to the manager as well, and see where he's going and assess it for himself. But the main thing here is that Barcelona are willing to accept a bid. So if you're at a club and you're saying, well, if they bid for you, you're gone. What can you do about it? Do you understand? Do you stay, dig his heels in, do a Gareth Bale sort of thing? It's not healthy. You're 25 years old. You're not 30 or plus, you know. So I think Frenkie de Jong has to make a decision real soon. And I'm sure right now he's getting as much advice as he can about whether to come to Manchester United or not. Obviously, Barcelona is a lovely climate, lovely league to play in, lovely club, lovely stadium, lots of history. And you've got more opportunity of winning something at Barcelona because of the Real Madrid. It's a 2-tier league, really, isn't it? Real Madrid and Barcelona in the league. But beyond that, coming to Manchester United, I know we're far behind, but he's got opportunity here to be part of the rebuild, and the fans would love him. If we start winning cups or trophies with him on board, I think the fans will really make him a hero and a legend, and really enjoy the style of football as well. So it's you have to balance things out here, and he needs to make a decision fast as well because we can't hang around.
Well, see, that's it. It's the rebuild. Is he willing to join the rebuild? Because it's not going to be rosy in the garden for us next year. Eric Ten Hag is going to run our players into the ground, and we're going to pick up injuries, and we're not going to have a strong 11 at certain times during the season. So he is going to be in a team that's not going to be as strong as he'd like it to be, or as strong as it would have started off. And it will be ups and downs. So it's all about what he wants. And I'm sure when he came into Ajax, he's already witnessed them ups and downs for a team that are starting off from the start with an Eric Ten Hag taking over, which he would have witnessed firsthand. So he knows what's coming in a sense.
Yeah, and again, you made a great point there about obviously the manager and the way he trains. And again, there's little clips going around where I've been watching of him in training, and basically the way he train, he doesn't stop. Literally, I saw he did a drill the other day where the players, there's three sort of imagine three cones out, and basically the players got to pick that little stick up, and they got to run, and they got to run at such a pace, they got to hit it in at the same time. And if they don't do it, they got to keep doing it until they actually do it, because that is what you're building as a team. For us right now at Manchester United, one, the players don't really want to run for each other. They don't want to do anything for each other. So like you just said there as well, Pat, it's going to be some of these players, and I'm hoping we got a good medical staff, because if the players been playing how bad they've been this season and been getting injured very easily, imagine what they're going to be doing on what Ten Hag is going to be doing with them in training. So they better go out there and eat the tready wheats.
And if we don't sell all the players that we want to sell, a lot of them are going to be unhappy come January, and they're going to want to be gone. And anyway, so that's going to upset the balance of the team as well. And we are going to expect these ups and downs, and this is what's going to happen. I just really hope that Frenkie de Jong coming to Man United just doesn't drag out for the whole season, and then it doesn't happen, because we all know what that's like. I spent enough years lighting candles in my local parish for Wesley Sneijder and Gareth Bale to go to the team, and then Karim Benzema, and he never came. I spent enough years wishing.
Now that candle blown out completely, and it's not going to happen again. You know what? We need Frenkie de Jong. I think Frenkie de Jong has got everything for a midfielder. People like to say, "Oh, we need a strong DM, someone who's going to be physical and a tackle and interceptions and all that kind of thing." When you got the ball, that's all that matters to me. When you got a player like Frenkie and a style like Eric Ten Hag, get the players in that fit his style. So we do have the ball, so we don't have to worry about tackling back and all these issues you have, because you're going to have the possession the majority of the time. And obviously against the top teams, we're not quite there yet. We might lose a couple of games like that, but I'm more comfortable having possession, having players on the ball that keep the ball. Yesterday, we were watching. Big shout to TalkMU with his live watch long, 7,000 people viewing him, watching the England and Germany game. And I was watching that game and thinking, wow, England can't keep the ball. Germany, average, they've got about the same style of players. You know, they got, when you compare the players, player man for man, they're about the same. But England can't keep the ball for love or money. And this is what I'm thinking, what's going on here? You got players like Rice in midfield, and whoever played yesterday. I'm thinking, why can't they keep the ball? What's going on here? Are you conceding possession? Why can't you control the game? Why can't you get your foot on the ball and just dominate the play? It helps so much. So I don't know what it is with English football that for years I've witnessed on international level and in Europe as well, that we concede the ball to other teams. It's time we start getting possession of the ball, a bit like what Man City do. They control the ball, and the majority of the time they win games based on that. So I think I don't want to see players coming in that have got good at interceptions, because that suggests that you're bringing in a player in. There's only 11 players on the pitch, but you're bringing a player in just for one job, when really he might not be good at keeping the ball. It's a bit like McTominay, 6 foot tall, distribution is poor, doesn't keep the ball, but we need him because he runs. Well, he only runs because our style of play is so poor that we don't keep the ball at all. So bring in Frenkie de Jong, someone who does play, understands the system, keeps the ball, technically good, and passes to his target and that kind of thing, and breeds a lot of confidence within our club. So he's the ideal player for me, based on those attributes.
Monday, this is yours. Sorry, I'll come back to you, Pat, in a minute. Yeah. This is all yours on Monday.
So, and Escote? And Escote, I can't pronounce your name, excuse me, but thanks for the $5. He's saying, don't stress, your team already has deals lined up for summer signings this summer. So not to worry. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Pat, sorry, you were saying?
Okay, so Frenkie de Jong, smashing baller. He's a deep line playmaker. So correct me if I'm wrong, lads. When we transitioned from Roy Keane to Michael Carrick, we went from a more football-based midfielder, and he was completely different. And not a lot of people took to him at the time. But when I look at the teams who are trying to catch at the moment in Man City and Liverpool, and I don't like to say that because it hurts. So they both have players who do the dirty work in Fabinho and Fernandinho. Now, I know Fernandinho's leaving, but they have players there who do the ugly work. So would you class Fernandinho and Fabinho as ball playing players as well? So if we are
No.
going to get not I'd probably say
Rodri, look at Rodri, look at Fernandinho. They're both very good on the ball, technical players. They're not just killers. They're not just enforcers.
yes,
in my opinion.
yeah. So they're ball players, but they're not just there to do the ugly job of kicking lubs out of people and sitting in front of the back
They can
four.
play ball.
Is what I'm saying. So, would not Donny van de Beek, would Frenkie de Jong be able to slot into a Carrick role?
Easy.
I don't see why not. Easily, I don't see why not. And the thing with, again, this is the thing we got to look at as well. I honestly believe Michael Carrick was probably one of the most underrated Manchester United
Oh
players.
my God, yeah,
Very underrated player at Man United. It's still, even up to now, I'll have conversation with Man United fans and telling me how terribly he was. But if Frenkie de Jong can come in and play how Michael Carrick played for Manchester United, listen, all day long. All day long.
Do you think if he came in, could Bruno play a more disciplined role and try and play the kind of a Paul Scholes role? Play beside
You know
him?
what it is with Bruno Fernandes, and I don't know if people will agree with me, but the more we link with like the Frenkie de Jong, the more I think like Van der Beek will have a massive say come next season. The more I can see Bruno Fernandes playing on the left.
Do you think he could play disciplined in the midfield three?
It's hard. I can't. You can train him to. But I'm not sure. So on Monday, go on, take it away.
Well, this is a great question. I think I wonder what people in the comments feel as well, because it causes a lot of,
Can I do my
Because
1
a
and
lot-
2s on Monday? Can I do my 1 and 2?
Well,
Do you think
Okay.
in the comment, if Bruno Fernandes can play, is it discipline we're talking about? One,
Yeah.
can he play in a free?
in a free. Can he play in a free and be disciplined? One, if it's a yes. Two, if it's a no, guys. Get involved. There's 15 in the chat. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, guys.
My issue with Bruno last season, he was playing as a 10 and he was drifting. My issue with him under Ole was that he was playing as a 10 and drifting, always chasing back, always ahead of the play. That's a major issue. You need players to get back behind the ball and invite teams to break you down. But it's easy to break you down when you've got like Fred headhunting and running. You just play triangle around him. And McTominay, who's just, I don't think he's good enough to play for Man United or start for Man United. So Bruno, I've been begging for him for a long time to be a bit more disciplined and have his starting position a lot deeper. When you've seen him do that, you've seen him provide some nice through balls from deep, penetrating passes and getting on the ball. I know people say he dives a lot, but he's smart. He knows how to use his body. If someone comes in from behind or try to touch him, he will go down, and he knows how to shield the ball. I think he could be a very good player in a free and midfield. That's what we're crying out for. And if that's what it takes with our new manager, and he has to train him, he has to do the job, because he's just got a new contract and he has to learn how to do the job a lot better than he has. I know he's got numbers, and I think he sort of he dines out on his stats, assists and goals, that kind of thing. But when you look at Lionel Messi, he was going head to head with Ronaldo for goals. And you think, well, your ego would say to you, go to Paris Saint-Germain, it was so-called Farmers League, which is not, and score more goals there. But he hasn't. His ego doesn't say that. He said, I'm getting older now. I can play as a more creative player, a lot deeper, almost as a midfielder or as a number 10, a lot deeper than I used to. And I'm not worried about the goals. So the same should apply for Bruno as well. Get to the stage where, you proved it. You can score goals. You can do all that. But can you, like John Barnes, who used to play in the wing, like Ryan Giggs that used to play in the wing, can you adapt and do something for the team by playing in centre midfield? Park Jong is also another player who came as a winger and ended up playing in centre midfield and doing jobs, man marking jobs, that kind of thing. Valencia came as a winger. I'm a winger. Hey, next thing you know, he's playing right back and doing a really good job. So that's for the team. And I want Bruno to do it for the team, not for stats, not for assists and goals or whatever. That goes out the window. You proved it, well done. But let's get back to improving Man United and not your stats.
Yeah, and like the reason why I say it as well, if we were to play in the 4-2-3-1, it'd be De Jong and Bruno if he was to play that role, and then Van der Beek would play in front of him in the middle of the tree. So basically, if you were to bring in someone like Timber, you've got a whole spine of Erik ten Hag's system.
Yeah.
And if it was to work, it should be a perfect world and everything would be awesome. But whether that happens or not is a different story. But it's it just opens up avenues for 4-2-3. 4-2-3-1 and 100 different discussions about formation.
Yeah. And UK Stray is asking a question about it. The rumor is Bruno Fernandes will be getting a number 8. That's the rumor at the moment. So he will be getting number 8 on Monday. There's lots of comments, guys. Remember, if you're new to the channel, you can become a member as well. As you can see, Pat's a member, so he's sitting on the show with us at the moment. So you can become a member. Just go check it out. And remember, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and also the like button, guys. I don't even know how many we got the likes going at the moment. I think it says 18, but we've got 17 in the chat. On Monday, stand up and sort these guys out. if you
I
wouldn't mind
stand up,
Monday.
you'll be seeing my waistline. You don't want to do that. I'm out overweight. So Eagle-Eyed Football says, evening all. Hello, how you
Can
doing?
I say something about Eagle Eye? He will be on the channel on Friday at 7 o'clock as well with us.
Brilliant.
He is obviously Eagle Eye says it all.
Get your 1 to 11 ready, Eagle-Eye. Stumpy's in the house as well. He's saying he's not an island. He is an island boy. Gary Foy is saying, Pat Lawless, a host, definitely. Great knowledge for Man United and great content, lads. Thank you very much.
That's one of me. That's one of me own, by the way.
I was gonna say, you're in big time.
Big up, Gary.
Box is saying, how would you woo De Jong? That's a question. Akil is saying, Bayern will sell De Jong as they need to register players and sign Lewandowski. It's all about getting the maximum amount from United. I want to say hi to Bath Time. How you doing? He says, I reckon De Jong is a gamble, even if he does want to come. UK Strange, imagine being forced to join a team you have no interest in joining. What a dirty move from United and Barca. Personally, I think we might see more business done in January than this year, says Bath Time. Bill's in the house says De Jong is not a gamble. He will perform wherever he goes, and we have to pay over the odds. So be it. If we have to, so be it. Just going to go down because there's plenty more comments here. Bath Time again is saying his dream signing would be Rice. He's talking to Box there. So Bill Badger is saying Pogba was a waste of space or is a waste of space. De Jong, if you have watched him, is not a waste of space. He has everything we need, or the manager wouldn't be in for him. That's a good shout. A couple more that have, once again, I'll just go to this here. Don't stress, your team already has deals lined up, so I feel relieved by that and for the money as well. Akil's saying De Jong saga looks like the Fabregas one we had. Hope it doesn't end in the same way. Fabregas is on a free, by the way, but he's old. Olakune saying getting top 6 will be a great season for you lot. De Jong isn't all that. Sorry, hardly ripped up the grass at Barcelona. UK Strange saying Frenkie de Jong is just another Bruno Fernandes. Bill Baggio saying he might go with 2 midfielders who can play. We just don't know. Do we? What we do know is that Ten Hag wants De Jong. Ole Kunle saying on Monday, do you want to be like Man City or Liverpool? I lose track. You must be in pain, bro. Now breathe. Okay. Thank you, therapist. Your league position. What league position do you think United will end up next season? I reckon 8th. Thank you. After I'm saying I dislike Carrick in our midfield. Possibly the most overrated footballer United ever had. Don't buy any buttons there. I see people ready to rip his head off. Fox is saying, one, if he learns new tricks, talking about Bruno. I know you posed the question of 1s and 2s. And UK Strange saying, whoever gets number 8 shirt next season, who's going to get number 8 shirt next season now that Mata has left? There's a 1 here from HD Gamer. Box is saying number 8 goes to De Jong or Donny. Bruno will get number 8. Bruno will get number 10. It's all going off. I want to say hi to Lee Stewart and also say hi to Mohammed as well. I said, good evening, everyone. And last one saying here, Carrick was class. What the,
Yeah, he's talking about Bath Time, who's now going to go watch Love Island.
With his big wooden spoon.
Oh, brilliant. Right, on Monday, Ibrahim, how do you say it? Ibrahim Sangare?
Yeah.
Okay. Reports claim that I think Manchester United, Chelsea, and Liverpool are interested in the 24-year-old. Last season, he played 49 games and scored 4 goals and 4 assists in all competition. Ivorian international as well, I believe so. Came from Toulouse before he went to PSG. Now, we've been talking about midfield players. The release clause is 35 million. I posted this up on the community earlier, and I had a few people that actually said, now we're talking. But it seems that Monday is not talking at all about this player because he is, some of the bits I've got on him is interception. He can basically, good at interception, pressing, also very good in the air. Amonde is very good in the air, but and then tackling as well. Strength is very strong in his tackles as well. So is he the player we're looking for? Is just another link to Manchester United to get a bit more PR around it? Or do you actually believe this player could come in? Because the story is that Chelsea and Liverpool are both interested in this player, and he's 24 years old. 35 million euros. That's what, about 28 million pounds?
I want Pat to take this first because I've a different view.
Okay.
You don't mind.
That's okay. Yeah, no problem. So I looked up this lad Ibrahim earlier on. So he comes from PSV. He comes from a 4-2-3-1 system, which would be good for Eric because he can slot straight into the team, and he's used to working in the system. He's 6'3". He's a giant. He has power, pace, presence, and straight away, anybody who comes into the team to play defensive midfield is going to improve our defense because, listen, a piece of garden furniture would do that job at the moment, So he just touching on the fact that he's 6'3". If we do sign a player like Timber, who's going to be a real new age ball playing defense centre back, we will need somebody like him with height in midfield to come back in and be in there for set pieces and heading the ball out. Plus, he comes from PSV, which is a good club. We got rude from him. I know it's a different position, but we've always had good relations with them. So, from what I've seen of him, he looks good. So I can't wait to hear what Omondi has to say.
Voice of reason.
No.
Yeah, I think for a long time now we've been saying we need a DM. The reason we needed a DM is because we kept getting run through really badly, as Man United, but counter-attacked and that kind of thing. So I think, okay, yeah, in that sort of style, you need someone who can sort of sit back, be responsible, and intercept the ball and that kind of thing. So I think in that respect, he has got the attributes. As our man was saying, he's 6'3", big, tall player, and does the job. Does the job what 6'3" centre defensive midfielder would do. 20 years ago, he might have been a centre back, but he's got a bit of ability on the ball, but not much. For me, it's a no-no. The reason I'm going to say now, because I know this guy. I knew him when he was at Toulouse. I knew there was some interest in him then. He's gone to PSV, which shows that it's not the best club to go to if he was that good. He's 24 years old now. He's got 23 caps for Ivory Coast. He's probably can speak to Bailey, who's leaving, and Ahmad as well, two international teammates, about what it's like at Manchester United. But for me, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work for me at all. We're comparing Frenkie de Jong. It's the midfield show today, isn't it? We're comparing Frenkie de Jong, who can also play as a 6, to this guy who plays a 6 as well. He plays very deep. And like you said, he intercepts the ball. He pinches the ball. He likes to stab the ball between the lines. So he gets the ball. He's very one-footed. Gets the ball and stabs it,
right
around the corners, that kind of thing. Very one-footed. He stands up, doesn't really go to ground, stands up on guys because of his height and presence. He can get close and press people. And he feeds a lot of players ahead. A lot of his passing is forward passing. And he plays a long ball as well. But here's the thing. The long ball that he plays is not like a ping, like a Scholes sort of low ping. It's a high long ball. So by the time it comes down, you can go, okay, and then someone will come along and hit the ball. This is the truth. This is the truth. So like saying, ping the ball to feet and all that kind of thing, like a Glenn Hoddle, but it has to be pinged with pace. This guy, every ball he plays is long, high, and then by the time they get there, they're all sitting there, we're waiting around for the ball to come down, and they get pinched, So I'm not impressed by that. Also not impressed by his technique. I've noticed the ball, the ball gets away from him. It's all right doing that in Dutch league maybe, or lower leagues, but doing that in the Prem or doing that in Europe, it's not going to work. We have players like Fellaini, terrible on the ball. McTominay, Fred, these guys were in tight areas. They're not good enough, in my opinion. And Sangare, let me say, like Enter the Dragon, he says, O'Hara. I say, Sangara. That's how he say it, But, same thing like, I just think he's not good enough for me. He's not good enough. He lacks technique. The thing is, like I say about pinging it and the lacking composure as well. We're just getting a big bully in there. And I think you're just eliminating a technical player in our team. You look at Fabinho. Fabinho is much better than him. He can do it all. He's got technique. He can drive with the ball. He's good passing, sharp, crisp passing. He does his job. This guy is too laid back. He's all arms and legs. And that's coming from me. I mean, the irony in saying that. There you go. So it's a big no for Sangare. Sangare from me.
But before go on to
on the level of Ibrahim and Camavinga that recently went to Real, who would you say is better by much? Obviously, Camavinga.
Well, not even Camavinga. Tuchamendi is much better than him. He's more intelligent. I've seen he's more intelligent. The way he presses. I read an article the other day about why Real Madrid signed him, and they go into real fine detail about his movement, what he does, how he presses. He's for a 22-year-old, he's really intelligent. And it's not just about the physicality as well. He's good on the ball. If you played him in a 4-4-2, you could play as a box player. He's so advanced. With this player, he's just pigeonholed as a defensive midfielder. I don't think he's got in his locker. So, for example, there's injuries and he has to play as a number 8, for example. Not in his locker. Compared to the two guys you mentioned, Camavinga and Tuchamendi, who are going to Real Madrid, I think they're a class above because they can do more with the ball and technically better. I just think you've got a one-trick pony with Sangare coming to it.
Sorry, Sal, go ahead.
Go on. I was going to say with it though, with Sangare, Armando, you spoke earlier regarding the whole thing with Scott and how, well, Mr. B always called him a rugby player. Now, wouldn't that be a better replacement having him in the team over Scott? I know Scott's one of our own, and we say he's one of our own, but I haven't really watched this guy a lot. I've just watched little clips of him today, and what I can see of him, I think he's better than Scott. I'm not saying he's a guaranteed starter. What I'm trying to say is he's a squad player to bring him in as a squad.
Yeah, it's just with Scott. Scott, I wouldn't really class Scott as a DM. So
I don't think any one of us will.
No, but I hate. I'm not slagging off Scott. Scott is great, but he's not a DM. So if we're going to go and sign this,
not a centre back either. You got absolutely destroyed against Scotland.
If we're going to sign this lad Ibrahim, is he levels above Jimmy Garner? Is he the PSV League to the Championship? Is he really for the money that we have available? Would we not just bring back Jimmy Garner for that? Like Brush made a very good comment there the other day, and I've been bring Jimmy back. I want Jimmy back. And then Brush kind of said, why don't we leave with Notts Forest for another year? And I never thought about it, even though it's the simplest idea. But it would be great to leave him there. But at the same time, why would we sign somebody like that when we have our own Jimmy who's fighting, fit, and ready to go? Unless he has all the attributes that OMONDI just spoke about.
Yeah, and you're right with it. Obviously, Ten Hag's going to come in and he's going to assess the situation. He's going to assess all the young players who's going to go back in training. And I think, what's today's date? I think everyone's back in training in what I believe is on the 17th, I think. A lot of people are going to be back in training. Is it 27th? Yeah. So another 11 days or 12 days before everyone go into training. So he will assess the situation and he'll actually know, or he'll be watching his DVDs and everything, or his, YouTube, like what we all do to YouTube now to look at players, and making a decision whether or not these are the sort of type of players we want to come to Manchester United, who's going to sit in and actually adapt to the formation. Now, obviously, we're talking about James Gardner. We're talking about bringing this young man in. But because he's coming from the Dutch league, and I know on Monday you're saying about certain things, attribute he doesn't have, but could he then fit in the Ten Hag system to carry those attributes?
Quite possibly, yeah. But for £35 million, I don't think when you got like
28 million. So let's say 28 million.
Right. So when you got James Garner there, who's a technical player, I think you need someone who's going to keep the ball, not a player who's just going to, like I said, you just wasting a player in the team. You want someone who can do more than just one job. It's not right. Do you remember the guy called Bakayoko from Chelsea? From Monaco? Had one good season for Monaco. Chelsea bought him. Oh, he's big, he's strong. They ended up sending him on loan, and he's been in Italy ever since. Hasn't come back. He reminds me of him. He's a similar style of player to him. Big, strong African French guy who can get up and down the pitch. Put his foot in. Big and physical. But beyond that, I just think he's limited. And there's no disrespect. Obviously, he's better than me. Who am I to say? But he's not better than what we need for Manchester United. And if we were playing, say Sean Dyche or Sam Allardyce was our manager and we needed that sort of player and that sort of system, I'd say, okay, maybe I'll consider it. But I'm not considering anything to do with that. While we've got a team that needs a possession-based thing. I said about how he flights his passes, long passes. I've said how the ball gets away from him, how he's all arms and legs. We need possession-based player, someone who can resist the press, someone who's got technique as well. He's got 1 foot. So based on the manager that we have and the starter player that we go into, I want James Garner clearly as a 6 over this guy. And I think when you've got possession, there's no need for this interception or how many interceptions you make. I'm sure you can get players like, we're looking at Jude Bellingham. Midfielders have got to be all-rounded. You've got to have ability to do a bit of everything. Jude Bellingham is one of the most sought-after players, and he's English as well. And he's a midfielder. Do you know, is he, can you define him? No, he's just a midfielder. He does a bit of everything. Same with Tielemans as well. You see Tielemans playing deep. He's a midfielder. You can give him £35 million. This contract runs out next season. And he's got more technical ability than this guy. So don't pigeonhole people, say, he's got to be a defensive midfielder. We need that. No, you don't. You just need good footballers all on the same wavelength. Once you start bringing in McTominays and Freds and that kind of thing, it spoils the whole play.
Take Fred out of your mouth. Come on. What do we talk about Fred?
Well, we said that Ibrahim Sangare looks like his big brother.
On Monday, new member. Yeah. This is all you.
I want to say hi to Spider-Man. I mean, sorry to reveal your secret identity. It's Peter Parker. He says, hey, guys, I know everyone is buzzing about the transfers, but remember, we've got to be patient because it's a rebuild, so it's going to take some time. But I agree with what we can, get targets that is ready. Thank you very much, Peter.
Welcome to the channel.
See you at the Daily Bugle.
Welcome to the channel. Sorry, Pat, all over to you now, sir.
Yeah, so the comments.
Oh no, you're talking.
All right, okay. So look, I just want to see Man United bring somebody in, and as OMONDI said there, I saw it there recently that Youri Tielemans is for sale, and he would be the ideal baller that we could bring in there and play beside the likes of Frenkie de Jong, because he is physical. He mightn't be the biggest, but he is physical, and he can be that ball playing defensive midfielder. But he's not going to be your typical bruiser that everybody thinks a DM should be. And there's it's the other one I was thinking of, and I'll probably get slaughtered for this, but if he was available, I'd love to see Kante come into the United setup.
Baller, but I don't know, age as well, innit? I'd rather us build with with the youth. I'd rather youth come in over him.
Well, the reason why I say that is you bring Kante into the team. Kante is not going to play all 39, 40 games, 50 games a season. But what he will give you is he'll give you 20 to 25, 30 good games a season. And that's where you bring Jimmy back. And Jimmy can learn from Kante. And then he can do the transitional role of handing over the mantle like Roy Keane done to, not comparing players, but Roy Keane compared to Brian Robson, where he's learning his trade underneath him, watching how he does things and get brought straight in. Not just like the way we brought Harry Maguire into the team, England international, gave him a captain's armband.
Don't say it to him one day, his ears are bleeding.
No, I'm not saying anything bad about the lad. I'm just saying we brought him in too early, threw him in, gave him everything that he should have earned, but it was given to him before he got a chance to do it. There was no transition for poor Harry Maguire.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. And I think sort of that's where we've been sort of the success of Man United has depleted, because we've been stitching teams up with all different managers since Ferguson. You got players still there from David Moyes. You got players still there from LVG. You got players still there from SHAH. And you had Ralph. Obviously, Ralph didn't bring anyone in, but Jose Mourinho as well with his bigger physical players. And that's the issue. Ten Hag now, he's got to literally rebuild it and bring in players who's got more athleticism in them. Because right now, if you look at some of the players at Man United, I don't know where the athleticism are within them. They just look like big 6 foot, 7 foot rugby players. Sorry, Monday.
Thanks a lot.
But yeah, sorry. But yeah, that's the thing with it at the moment. A lot of the players are very sort of, they're sort of quite big, isn't it? But, so I don't know what you guys thinking regarding that as well, because we do need sort of players, and like what Amanda said, we need ball players around Man United. We don't need rugby players around Man United.
Yeah, but sorry, just to go back to what I was just talking about before we head on that. But the likes of the Kante coming in, he would be ideal if he had Jimmy underneath him. And then we've got great young players we've great young players come through the youth who can play on the right side of the pitch. And then why aren't we bringing in the likes of Eriksen for a year or two? he plays out on the right, and then he can play for a year or two, and then he can hand down the mantle to these younger players coming through. Because we're not doing this. We're not handing down the mantle to young players. We're not bringing them in with the experienced players. We're bringing in the experienced players and not playing the young players. So this is what we need to implement more, and I'm hoping that Erik ten Hag will do this. So if we do blow all our money on Frenkie de Jong, the likes of Eriksen and the likes of Conte will be good signings if we are going to bring Jimmy Garner back into the midfield. And is it Garnacho that plays in the right wing? Is it?
Yeah, left or right? Yeah,
left or right. And does maybe play on the left or right? I know he definitely plays on the left.
Who?
Hannibal.
He's right. He's a right-footed midfielder. I think he's a number 8 or 10.
Okay, yeah. But if you were playing a 4-3-3, he'd probably play out on the right, would he?
No, I think he'd play in the 3 midfielders. Ideally, yeah, I think so. So. But I know what you're saying about Bruno playing out on the left. We saw Tadic do that, 2-foot player. You know, it depends. Yeah. If these guys are versatile, that's what we're saying. You need a lot of versatility when you're talking about these players. So Hannibal, you can't pin him down. The Tunisian manager and the youth scouts are saying he can play in various positions. You can play him as a 6, 8, or a 10, or maybe even a couple of times last season when he came on wide left, for example. You know, so and he started, didn't he start for Palace against Palace? You were there, weren't you, Errol?
Yeah.
Didn't he start on the left?
He started on the left at Palace. Started on the left.
Yeah. So this is a
and then throughout
player.
the game, he went from sort of left to sort of like. Then he went switched to the right, and then he played a little bit in the center as well.
So this is a player, because of his talent on the ball, he's able to do these things, and then he can develop like the Dutch system. They focus on talent, technique, tactical awareness. Then they can play various positions. Dennis Bergkamp used to play right wing, for example. It's total football. These players, if you're good enough, you can play in a variety of positions and play it well. For example, so Sangare, for example, he's only, like I said, can play in one position. This is why I just want to give an example, because you talk about Sangare because he's 6'3", physical, that kind of thing. I think we can get players of this mold. We look at Wolves; they had Neves and Moutinho. Moutinho is only about 4'8". You know, I know I'm exaggerating there. He's a tiny player, but because he's a good ball player and they keep the ball, you don't notice things about tackling and that kind of thing. They keep their shape. You know, how Wolves were very difficult to beat. They never saw them lose 4-5-0, did you? They're very compact, very organised. So players like that, it doesn't matter what about the size of you. If you look at players like Fabian Ruiz from Napoli, we've looked at him before. He's a so-called 6 or something, but he's very good in the ball, a bit like Redondo, left-footed, or Matic, for example, left-footed, Rolls-Royce kind of player. You've got Neves as well, we've been linked with. He's technically good. He plays deep, picks up the ball, can do a good job. Tillemans, I've just mentioned. Kesse is also going on the free. I don't think we can get him, but we played against him last year in the Euros, Europa League. Very good player. We've seen him firsthand, and we know how technically good he is. You know, he can do a bit of everything. There's a guy called Sancho Tonoli. I've seen him. He's from Brescia. He got on loan at AC Milan, but such a talented player. Just a deep line player. Gets the ball, comfortable on the ball, pops it around, builds up, helps teams to build their play. Still quite young, Italian young player. Really like him as well. I think he'd be suitable. And obviously from Ajax, we had Alvarez, the Mexican, who can play centre back, but we ended up playing in the midfield too. And he's technically good as well. That's what makes him a good, knows his role, knows his position, and won't get caught out. So players like that, it doesn't have to be about interceptions and that kind of thing. It's about your technical ability first. And I think when we're scouting players under our new regime, that's going to be the main attribute we'll be looking for.
Okay. Wow, 007 is even asking people to hit the like and subscribe button, and he's a Liverpool fan, guys.
He loves
23 in the chat. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. We have got classic on Monday. I'm going to get you to go through loads of these comments because we've got loads of comments coming through. I've highlighted some of them, and it's all down to you.
I'm glad you did, because I didn't, because I was too busy flapping my lips.
I'm highlighting some.
Yeah. Here we go. So Bill Badger says, yes, OMONDI. Can we have a bit of faith in youth this coming season? I think so. Yep. New direction. Vincent saying, hit the like button. Remember, Man United fans' lives matter. Very funny, Vince. Paddy saying, not the Forest fan. At the weekends, he's gone every week saying he isn't ready yet for first team football. Man United, I imagine. Talking you saying, I feel Garner should stay in the Premier League next season because it would be unfair to him under that kind of pressure without some experience. did he gain experience this year? Paddy saying Garner should stay at Forest for another year. Ola Kunle saying Solo, why do you select Fred? Check out his stats, bro. Under Ole, he was your best presser. Appreciate him.
Wait for it. I am a Fred believer. That's why I back him all the time. I am a Fred in.
Yeah,
these guys are the ones we got to, wash their, mouth out. Don't talk about Fred in a bad way.
Lee Stewart saying 3 Paul Scholes, 3 Carricks, players that do everything, a bit of everything really well.
Yeah.
Andrew Williams is saying Ericsson, Ziyech, Basuma, Johnson. I don't know who Johnson is. Timber and Inasho. My wish list shouldn't cost us more than 140 million. Okay, so he's got a player for each position really there. Who's Johnson? I don't know who Johnson is talking about. Peter Parker saying appreciate it, guys. Well, we appreciate you. That's a really good comment you dropped earlier. Bill Badger saying is number 6 a centre back? I don't think so. 4 and 5 maybe centre backs in the 4
and 5. Yeah, it's in the middle. That the 6.
Yeah.
But then again, saying that, wasn't Gareth Pallister number 6? I swear Gareth Pallister played number 6, didn't he?
It's probably choice of number, really, isn't it?
Sam Johnson is talking about. Hello, Emma.
Okay, Emma's saying Basuma is literally on Bell. Okay, at the moment, so it's probably not wise to sort of go for him, even though he was sought after before. Mark Foster's in the house. He said, "Good evening." How you doing, Mark? Classic Rohan says Nunes is going to Liverpool. United need to wake up. Okay, you can have him if that's the case. Andrew saying Kante is my favourite player. I do think we got a build for the 24-25 season, though. I want Ericsson, but only because he's free. SHAH is saying question for the community. What other players would you like outside the rumours? Message in the comments. Peter Parker saying Rohan, Man United fan, would love Nunes to go to us. Really didn't do too bad for Uruguay in friendly the other day versus USA, but Jong was impressive. My. And Ericsson again from Andrew Williams. Ericsson's no brainer if we can get him. Good pro, works hard, good character, shouldn't cost much at all. And just lastly about Fred, because see your eyes light up here, Errol. Peter Parker says, I like what Fred does for the Brazilian national team, which is my team as well. Okay.
Big up.
Nice.
Welcome to the channel. So, guys, there's 18 in the chat, and we've got 35 likes. If you haven't yet hit the like button, just hit that for us, please, guys. If you're new to the channel, like Peter, I believe he's actually subscribed as well. So thank you so much. Any other business? I'm going to let Monday have this, but before Monday have it, let me have it for 1 minute. So, guys, what we're doing now is, if you are new to the channel and you don't know anything about the United agenda, we do a package where we get the guests to come on. As you can see, Pat is one of our members. He's on the channel. Also on Friday night takeaway, we do have members only with Mr. B and TalkMU. But this week, for the next 2 weeks, on Monday is going to be hosting it. So get involved as well, guys. This Friday, we are going live. So we're not live at 8:30. We're live at 7. And we will be doing a live stream where we'll be picking our 1 to 11 team of the season. And we're going to have Crystal Palace fan, Tottenham fan, United fan, Chelsea fan, Liverpool fan, unfortunately, a City fan probably. And that's if you can find one. And a Spurs fan, again, empty cabinets for God knows how many years. So, guys, just hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And on Monday, when you're ready, sir.
Okay, so first of all, I want to say hi, because I like Ralph Rangnick. And a lot of people say, oh, he's a terrible coach, that kind of thing. So obviously he started with Austria. They had one good result. Their captain and Champions League winning centre-back for Real Madrid, David Alaba, has come to this defence. He called him a world-class coach. And he said, you can really see he's got a good game plan, and you can see it works for us on the pitch. He doesn't want to let his opponents breathe air. It's good for us, he says. And he said he's known him since he was 18 years old as a world-class coach. What he did in the past is something special, and I'm now seeing it up close. He showed what he can do at Red Bull, Salzburg, and Hoffenheim. He didn't have a lot of time at Manchester. He has a really good plan and knows a lot about football. So that's coming from David Alaba, who's really quality player, as we saw in the Champions League final and his years at Bayern Munich. So he's really endorsing Ralph Rangnick there. Maybe we didn't accept that. Also, there's news about, I know if you tune into last night's show, Mr. B and Petty, they were talking about centre-backs. we went to midfielders today. But it's still talking about centre backs in Italy. There's two there: De Ligt, who's also known from Ajax, and Bastoni from Inter Milan, who's 22-year-old or 20-year-old young centre back as well. So apparently we've been linked with those two. And finally, Tielemans as well. Tielemans is on international duty, and obviously he's leaving. He said it's quite possible he might be leaving soon because he's got only 1 year left on the contract. But he's being respectful towards Leicester. He said Leicester treated him really well, but obviously he has to really consider his next move if he does decide to move away from Manchester United. So I don't know about you guys, but there's a lot of transfer rumours. Some of them you can take with a pinch of salt, but I think the consistent ones we're seeing, like you're saying, with Pat was saying earlier about Frenkie Jong consistently coming up. So there must be something in that for us, I believe.
Pat, anything for you?
It's just, it was one of the lads touched on that chap Nunes earlier on, and it just feels like we're not really in for that type of player because of the money that he would cost. So it's like his agent comes out and goes, okay, I know my lad is hot property. I'm going to bring him out straight away. I want to get the best deal, the highest wage. Where do I start? I'll start at Man United. I know they need a striker. I know they'll pay the money. They'll do it. Bring her up. And now, how long has he been linked to us? 4 or 5 weeks? Now, all of a sudden, you're hearing there's verbal talks with Liverpool. And next week, you'll probably hear that there'll be talks with Inter Milan as well. And before you know it, he'll get a high wage and go to a club that needs a player, a ready-made player, instead of a young up-and-coming player. So yeah. I just think it's all smoke with that chap Nunes, and there is a good trend in the players we're being linked to besides Nunes and De Jong. There's lots of good young players, some free agents as well. So it doesn't seem to be all Gareth Bales and Wesley Sneijder. So hopefully we sign a few good players this year.
Get your candles out.
Get me candles out and don't burn the parish down.
There's another rumor just circulating now. Is it Wesley Fofana from Leicester City?
Fofana.
Fofana, so I said Fofana. Yeah. Basically, there's stuff going around now saying United are interested in him and looking for about £68 million for him.
Actually, we'll do a swap deal with Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
No, it's actually, well, yeah, I'd rather do a swap deal with Harry Maguire.
He's a good player. I know he had a serious injury, didn't he, pre-season last year, and he came back towards the end of the season. Really good player, strong and physical, reads the game really well, and he's got good experience at Leicester. Leicester seems to be one of his clubs, middle clubs, which gets a player there's maybe a question mark over and develops them and then sells them on for big money. We see that with Tielemans, we see that with Kante, with Mahrez, and now we might be seeing that with Fofana as well, who's also come as a good deal. So they're making good business there. So fair play to Leicester. Hopefully we'll see a Leicester fan soon, won't we?
Yeah, we will definitely see a Leicester fan. And the legend's back. I haven't seen him for ages.
So legend saying any youth players that could come in, he's asking. For me, I'd go with Kobe. I know it might be a bit too young, but I think he's got all the attributes to be a quality player. Just don't know about his character yet because he's kind of new to me in the last year or so. So I want to see how he develops. But I think Kobe's got all the opportunity to, under Ten Hag, to be a quality player for Man United in the midfield. So, yeah, that's one for me.
Yeah. And then, Pat, anything from you? Anything extra from you, sir?
No, I'd just like to keep an eye on one player that impressed me towards the end of last season, and that was Cucurella at Brighton. I think
City's getting him, though, isn't it? I think he's going to go City.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he'll go City.
You're
You've
right.
got to replace Kyle Walker, aren't you?
What do you like about him?
Yeah, he excites me, Fantastic player.
Yeah.
And then them guys arguing in the chat now. But guys, there's 20 in the chat. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And guys, from us, that's all from us. So make sure you tune in, join us, set your notification bell. There's 22 in the chat. Set your notification bell to the Maniac Agenda. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I've been solo, and I would do a little shout out and say, Pat, where can we find you? But we know we're going to find Pat anyway, so it's not a problem as well. He's going to be here in the chat as well. So guys, from us, I'm going to let these guys continue to arguing inside the comments. They're going at it at the moment. I think 007 is winding people up. As he do, him and Bart probably doing it. So guys, would like to say thank you to everyone who's liked and subscribed today, and we will be back. So I'm Solo, I'm Monday, and Pat.
Monday.
Cheers, lads.
Good night. From all
Hold
of us.
hold on. Before you go, do you want to say hi to Jackie as well? Jackie's coming in late, and I'm like one of these moody husbands saying, "Where have you been? Where have you been? Why are you coming in this sort of time?" Jackie, how you doing? Oh, you have been watching. Maybe you have been watching. Thank you for a panel interesting chat. Oh, I thought you just walked in this time.
And Vincent, big up as always, mate. Thank you so much. Always making sure you doing the countdown
as well. Peter Parker, nice to see you in the chat.
Welcome to the channel.
And sorry, one more thing. I just want to say, Endrick is a Brazilian playmaker, one for the future. Yeah, I'm really excited about this young man. When he turns 18, I'm sure most of Europe's going to be after him. He's going to be the next big thing out of Brazil. I think he's more of a striker, but he's certainly short. He drives. He's got so much talent. That's a guy to look out for, Endrick. I think, yeah, good shout there with that one, Matt.
Yeah. Right. This is something we don't accept because Talk does it all the time, yeah? Cooking tea, you're cooking dinner. It's late at night. It's 9:30 at night. You have tea in the morning. Thanks.
Where's my dinner?
Where's my dinner? Not where's my tea. Where's my tea? Where's my coffee cream in Yorkshire? Yeah, guys, from all of us on the channel today, we'd like to say thank you so much. And we are on the road to 2K subscribers. So make sure you help the channel, support the channel in any way you can by liking it and telling your friends about us. So from us, good night.
Good night.
Bye.